Welcome back to SASA 210. We're here talking about the Cowboys and the Packers. We're just going to go ahead and explain what we actually think as far as what actually took place and what's going to go on. I know I've heard too many analysts basically say what they've got to say, and as far as them firing the coach and stuff, but to me, I'm going to say it's not all to blame on Dak. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I can't say it's all to blame on him, but he is the captain of that team, and if the ship sinks, he sinks with it.
Yeah, I understand that, but he didn't let the Packers offense score 48 points. I understand he threw two picks in the beginning of the game, which is I understand that. But the defense had an opportunity to stop them for a field goal at least when he threw that pick the first. Yeah. So I'm thinking it should have been at least 10-0 at that time frame. And my whole thing is like, who is the receivers?
Well, I agree. CeeDee Lamb did drop some balls, but
is he a pro, like a 6'4" big guy that is going to control, like he can throw it to him? He's just going like an A.J. Brown type of guy.
I feel like
he dropped 3 passes.
I get that, but the problem there
and
is
2 of them were early.
You know, when you're going to have a receiver, especially a smaller receiver, you're going to need a tight end or somebody to offset the middle of the field so you can take those shots.
So you're saying they need a tight end?
I feel like they needed more support. I mean, you can't expect Dak to do it. He hasn't done it in all the years he's been there.
No, he's a time manager. Even if you looked at all the wins that they've done, he doesn't win the games. He just makes sure that they get points.
But he was a big letdown this year because he played so well during the season.
Yeah, and that third down when Lamb went right here and he just touched his fingers and it fell on the ground. And then the second time,
and his cookie
he threw it right to Lamb. And Lamb, I know it wasn't on point. Lamb had to do this and catch it. But he didn't even do that either. Lamb was so terrible. Now, I'm just like, go ahead.
I do feel like, I'm not blaming it all on Dak.
No, because everybody's like, my whole people are all like, Dak should go, Dak should go. I'm like, dude, did you see the whole Cowboys team? The defense.
Yeah, but what do you do about that to fix that for next year? Because you're having the same problems every time.
The defense was supposed to be this immaculate defense that should stop everything. They couldn't stop any team that was good. That was really good. They couldn't stop any team.
Well, I mean, they needed the refs to
and they ran on them.
Games,
Yes! I know you're a Detroit fan. You saw that. I'm like, man, they needed the refs at the end of that game.
But it looks like they need all the help they can get now. I mean, the way that they're going to have to rebuild and the way I could tell in Jerry Jones, he just wants to let somebody go. I don't know how it'll happen, but I
heard that they're keeping McCarthy.
Okay. Well, I mean, what do you do with Dak, though? You already got rid of Zeke.
No, you can't get rid of Zeke. You can't get rid of Dak. You thought he was great. Dak was not the whole problem. Dak was playing his game, which is, hey, I'm just going to give it, dump it out. And then he's got Cook, and he threw it to Cook. And then I'm not going to say nothing, but when Cook went left and broke rights for that slant, the corner held him, kept him down. So that could have been a penalty, but they didn't call it. And then he made an interception. Then he's forcing it to Lamb again. I
think he was forced to pass, though, in the later part of that game because they had let the Green Bay Packers get such a big build on them.
He didn't let that happen. I mean,
right, he didn't let that happen. He threw a pick 6, though. I wonder what.
Yes, he did, so but he was going to Lamb because everybody's like, go to Lamb.
He scored a touchdown for him. And
okay, so right now it should have been 10-0. 10-0.
But that's what I'm saying. And in the end, they did try to make a comeback.
No, I'm not talking about the end. Let's talk about the beginning.
They talked about it, but it was just too late. They let Green Bay get
it was 10-0. Let's say that's what, if the defense was any good, because Dak didn't let them score 48 points. Let's take 41 from that. And let's take 3 more from that because that should have been at least a field goal. Stop.
I mean, the defense definitely didn't play. You let the 50 points go up on the board, and somebody didn't play.
They ran the ball on the whole time.
48, whatever you want to say. But Yeah, if you're letting 48 points go on the board, you're not going to have a very good high percentage win.
And then I understand everyone wants to blame him, but I'm not saying he's going to take you out of the Super Bowl, Cowboy fans. I'm just saying he's not the only one to blame. The defense, the whole team is to blame for this. The whole team and coaching staff is to blame for this.
But I think the thing people are most upset about, not that it was they lost the game, but they look so good this year. They look like they were going to be a competitive team, and then they get to the playoffs and they look like they didn't belong, and they showed they didn't belong. Like by the way they played. So I don't know how they're going to go back to the drawing board on that, but they definitely did not bring the enthusiasm with them for that game, and they let them just build a lead on them, and then they never could come back from it. But going forward, I don't see how they can recover.